Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 6, Episode 3. Welcome to Paradise. I'm your host, Dom. With me is my co-host, Omikins.
Hey.
And Heather.
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Tired.
Tired. Yeah, it's been one of those weekends.
It has been.
Sorry for the delay, guys. Pushed both Vampire Diaries and the originals back a little bit this week, but we will be back to our normal schedule this coming week. What did you ladies think of this episode?
It's interesting. I like seeing more of David and Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Their dynamic is amazing.
It is now. It's completely entertaining.
Heather, what do you think? You pretty much rushed through a bunch of seasons. You barely had time to absorb. It was just like thrown at you, and it didn't get to sink in. It just like you're like bouncing it all off of you.
I don't know who it was, but some asshole gave me a list of fucking shows that I had to watch, like in the specific fucking order. Biggest bullshit I've ever seen. Like, I'm never talking about ass again. But anyways, so I watched this entire.
Do I know him?
No.
He sounds like...
You might.
He sounds like someone I should know.
You should probably know him. But anyways, so I didn't get a chance to absorb it, and this is the first season that I've gotten to sit down and actually watch it casually, not as a freaking like a Vampire Diaries bender. And I honestly, like, really like it.
Good. So... it's only 3 episodes in, and you're really, like, you're at this point where you're hooked, right?
Yeah, like, it's really good. Like, in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people who was like, I am not jumping on this sparkly vampire fucking bandwagon.
They don't sparkle.
Like, I know they don't, but, you know, Vampire Diaries kind of came out along with that fad with Twilight and, you know, all these other
True Blood
shits. Yeah, True Blood, which I watched a good chunk of True Blood up until...
Why did you watch True Blood,
I think I watched until Bill took on Lilith, and then everything went like, what the fuck? And so after that, I stopped watching it. But, you know, I never gave Vampire Diaries a chance because I was like, it's going to be another one of those teeny bopping...
So it's the name.
...pedophile show.
It's the name. That's what did it for you, right?
It was. The name turned me off. And so I didn't give it a chance.
True Blood is because there's a lot of TNA. And that's why people watch it.
Unfortunately, that's true.
It is. It really is. And, like, I read the Suki Stackhouse books, and I liked the books.
The books are good.
The books are amazing. And then you watch the show, and you're like, I don't remember this sex scene.
I don't remember this person. I don't remember this person living.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Right?
It went a little... I don't know, the first season of True Blood was decent, but after that it just went to hell. But anyway, getting back to the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it.
That's good. I'm glad you are fully on board now, and probably not referring to Damon as... I forget what you called him in the first episode.
Resting bitch face pancake man.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Something like that.
So
I'm sorry, he has this resting bitch face when he's not talking or goofing off or being a sarcastic ass. He's just kind of like...
Yeah. But as we were saying, the dynamic between Bonnie and Damon is just, it's getting better and better. And we had this moment where, we'll get to Kai in a second, but it was when Damon had Kai by the throat in the deli aisle, and he goes, I see how your temper is with Bonnie or whatever, and Damon goes, yeah, well, that's someone that I actually like. And that's true. It's like, look what Damon does to his friends, let alone, you know, his enemies. It's just, oof. It's crazy. But Yeah, so we got to meet Kai. What were you guys' opinions on him?
He doesn't look like a guy that could fill in a crossword like that.
No?
No.
No, I love what Damon said to Bonnie after their little confrontation with him, and it was so true. I'm sorry I called you annoying. I hadn't met him yet.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was true. Because it was like this guy was all fucking talk.
Mm-hmm.
Damon has all the best lines.
He does.
He does. I love it.
I don't know if he gets to ad-lib anything or if the writers just favor him, but he really just gets all the good lines.
Kind of, looking into Ian Somerhalder and, like, kind of getting an idea of what his personality might be like.
You mean Smolder Holder. He's got
No.
that smolder on his... Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, he sounds like the kind of guy that would ad-lib.
Probably. I'm sure it's about 50-50.
Yeah, I mean,
it probably started off as like this nice improv ad lib, and then the writers just started feeding into it at that point. So I think it goes hand in hand.
like I don't know. I think honestly, a lot of my enjoyment in the show is some of the shit that comes out of his mouth. Like that's like the same thing with me with Pretty Little Liars. Is that you remember we always make fun of things that Hannah says.
Yes.
You know, it's the
Every
context
show's got
of
that
the
one
words.
character, yeah.
Right. And and I love that in that show, and in this show I've got that, and I think that's really a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great. So Kai really was laying into Damon. He wanted to kill him. He laced every bottle on the shelf with vervain. Which that was a really interesting spit take from Damon. But was he really trying to kill Damon, or was he doing what he said when he was tied to the chair and said that he was trying to provoke Bonnie into gaining her magic back? Which one do you think is the truth?
I don't think he was expecting it.
He looked really genuinely surprised when Bonnie
Yeah.
was like, when she lit that candle up, he was like, oh, I'm gonna shit my pants over here now.
Yeah, like I think he was bullshitting to try to seem like the good guy all of a sudden, so that way
Yeah.
they want to kick his ass as hard. But he was not expecting that. You could see it on his face.
He's too suspicious to even believe when he's telling the truth, kind of thing. I mean, how the hell is he there? Who the hell is he? What the hell is he?
Mm-hmm.
Why, like, I mean, who, what, when, where, how, and all of that just comes into play, and he's just, we don't know who he is.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys think he got there?
I think he put himself there
How?
very carefully. Same way Grams put him there.
So
We
I mean,
still
we
don't-
don't know what he is.
We still don't know that Grams put Damon and Bonnie
Oh,
there
yeah.
in this place. I think he did something, and he was on the other side, and he, like, tripped over a line and happened to end up there or something, just by accident. And he's been there a long time.
So if he's on the other side, he's a supernatural entity. He's not human. So out of the ones that we know, we have vampire, which he's clearly not, because he's not healing.
No?
We have werewolf, possibility. Witch, think he would have shown some powers there, but maybe he's just playing possum.
Maybe.
Doppelganger, very unlikely, because we know that was a curse between Stefan and Elena's heritage.
Yeah.
But we also don't know if somebody else didn't enable another doppelganger curse somewhere. It would be very, very far off chance, but it can't be completely ruled out. And
Something new entirely?
yeah. Do you think it's time for a new supernatural type entity?
A fairy? Come on. That's been done, and it didn't work out very well.
Fairy.
If it ends up being a fairy, I'm done.
So
Me too.
like I said, it's been done and it didn't work out. So
Yeah.
no.
So if
No,
we don't
thank
have a podcast next week, guys, you know why.
It's because we all rage quit.
Because Kai's a fairy.
Yeah. I mean, he's annoying and he's a bit
But what other
fruity like that. But...
what other supernatural entities could they tie in? Because they've kind of tied ghosts in already, right? But you don't start off as a ghost, you die, and then you become a ghost. So
Right.
that's not possible.
I think the better question is how far into supernatural beings do you think Vampire Diaries would go?
That is a question. We haven't seen things like shapeshifters or anything like that.
Right. And that's
we
all
know
part
werewolves
of...
can shift form or whatever, but who's to say they're not the only species out there that can?
Right. And so far, they've only introduced us into the generic world of these kind of myths, and that's
More of the
vampires
monster
and ghosts.
myths. Yeah.
They might start, if we can kind of refer to the books, they might start introducing the angel part of the Vampire Diaries.
Ooh, that is a good point. That is a good point, because in the books, spoilers if
Wait, there are books?
if that bothers you.
There are books.
Umi, you need to give me the name of these books now.
They're called the Vampire Diaries.
Shut... I wasn't talking to you, ass face.
They're called the Vampire Diaries.
Are they really? Who writes them? Okay, tell me later. I got distracted. It's like shiny things. You're like, books. And I'm like, oh, can I read them? All of them?
But
Right
spoilers, but in, I think it's like the third, fourth something book, I don't even know. Elena turns into a angel, which obviously they haven't explored yet, but it took them a while to turn Elena into a vampire too, so that was pretty quick in the books as well. And I believe there's new Vampire Diary books coming out still right now. They just started like redoing them when the TV show started hitting popularity, and ultimately I do know who Elena ends up with, and I'm not even gonna say if it is a Salvatore brother or not.
Don't say it, because I don't want to know.
But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil that far. But yeah, angels were introduced. So that's an interesting theory. It's not even something that crossed my mind. So I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty cool.
I need these books in my life. I'm sorry.
She's ordering them.
I'm on Amazon already. I'm like, I need these in my life. I'm a terrible person.
Wow.
Yeah, you should ask Steven what I did. I had some extra money like 2 weeks ago, and I literally ordered like an entire book series.
So you think Kai put himself there, or do you think somebody sent him there?
I kind of want to go with her idea. If there are angels and stuff, maybe they are introducing that. I mean, he could have put himself there, or he could have been damned down there or something.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
J. Smith.
Do you think he's alone? Do you think there's more people there?
It's possible. I mean, if he's there could be definitely other people there too.
What if everybody that found their peace, so to speak, ended up there?
Maybe.
Then Damon and Bonnie wouldn't be there because neither of them were at peace.
We don't know if they made their peace in the very last second or not.
Mm-hmm.
When they held hands, they could have made their peace.
Damon's peace is Elena.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, you heard Bonnie this entire episode, she was asking him, what is the first thing you're going to say when you get back? She's trying so hard to make him see the error of his fucking ways.
Right.
You're taking everything you have for granted. Why can't you just admit it? And
Yeah.
he's always like, and he jokes about it. He's like, I'm going to tell her I'm sorry for killing your friend Bonnie. But he won't take it seriously until they're at the end.
Right. How do you think Elena's new boyfriend, love interest that they're setting up, Liam, How do you think Damon's gonna react to that when he gets back?
He's gonna kill him.
Yeah, he's gonna tear his fucking face off. He's gonna come back and be back for like 10 minutes, and there's gonna be blood somewhere.
He's gonna kill him, and then Elena, who already has these false memories of Damon, is going to hate him even more.
Yep.
Because
And he's not gonna be so confused and sad.
Exactly. He's not gonna know. Because the first thing by the time he gets out of here, the first thing he's gonna do is go find Elena.
Yeah, he's not gonna listen to anybody telling him to stop. Wait, we have to tell you something about Elena because he's just gonna want to see her.
Right. You know, he's just gonna want to fucking see Elena, and he's gonna fuck himself.
Now that you put that vivid image into Ruby's head, she is now distracted. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I saw her.
have.
She went off on a mind tangent.
It's a good image to have.
I just looked down and I see her and she's like... It's like, oh god.
Trying to imagine the ways of such twisting.
Help. Help me. Somebody help me. Then the other interesting thing is that, Elena seems completely over the fact of Stefan, like completely. At first we thought the only reason that she was over Stefan was because of Damon, but now with her love for Damon completely out of the equation, she's still fine. Has no harbored resentment. She has no feelings left over. She's literally happy for him that he moved on, that he has a girlfriend, or so she thinks, because she doesn't know he's dead yet, or she's dead yet. That leaves Stefan and Caroline, and you kind of have Stefan, Caroline, and Enzo. You kind of have this love triangle going on, and usually Elena's the one that's caught in the middle of this love triangle. But this season we have Caroline. What are your opinions on them completely changing up the triangle dynamic?
I was sick of Elena crying and whining because all the guys are fighting over her, so that's okay. But I'm not sure if it's a triangle other than Caroline. Well, it's always Enzo likes Caroline. Caroline likes Stefan, and Stefan's just has his head up his own ass right now, so he doesn't even really smell the roses. He just smells his own shit. So yeah, it's not really a triangle right now, but
no, it is. It is because you have, I don't know, because you like look at the first season when this is love triangle was going on. You had Elena who was interested in Stefan, and then you had Damon who was interested in Elena, and Elena wasn't interested in Damon, but Stefan was interested in Elena. It's the same dynamic. More or less.
More or less.
you're including Stefan in this triangle when he really doesn't like either one of them. He wants to kill Enzo, and he just wants to run away from Caroline.
Stefan, he clearly has feelings for Caroline. We saw this last season. They were all canoodling.
Yeah, but now...
They were canoodling in the back of the car.
It was friend canoodling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he's got a whole new area because here's freaking Elena with no memory of his brother. He's got like the perfect chance to go right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like worm his way back into there somehow.
Right? I mean, you saw the scene in the car where the friend was like, what about how long have you two been together? You two just meshed so perfectly.
Stefan was so irritated at that part because he knew.
He was
like...
So, do you think Stefan has some harbored feelings for Elena? Do you think this is why he's pushing Caroline away?
Of course he does.
He's had these feelings ever since Damon and Elena got together. That's why he went on his Ripper thing again.
So have we now created a love square?
Is it, got 90 degree angles, or is it a rhombus, or how is this working?
Yeah,
actually, we can't forget about Damon going to be re-added to this equation because he still has feelings for Elena. So now we're up to a pentagon.
A pentagon. Let's draw the lines and let's make a star because that's how it's gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bonnie's coming back.
Yeah.
Ooh, so who's Bonnie interested in?
Jeremy.
All right, let's just
wait.
we'll just add
God,
because
here
we
we
got
go.
Liam, we have what's it? Iris, right? Stefan's dead girlfriend. We have
Ivy.
We have Ivy. We have Jeremy and Sarah, and we now have created a dodecahedron triangle. It's fine. All right,
It's a triangle on top of a triangle on top of a triangle.
It's all connected.
And they're just turning.
It's all connected. And then we got Liv. Don't forget about Liv. She finally admitted her feelings for Tyler.
Yeah,
Do you guys see them being an interesting couple?
No.
No.
I don't see living much longer.
Ooh.
I honestly I see her going and being gone forever.
I was actually surprised to see her in this season. I was not expecting her or her brother to be in the season at all. I just figured their story was done as of last season.
Because they screwed up so much.
Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to see them still around. But that goes to bring the fact that Tyler still is not a werewolf and hasn't triggered the curse yet. And you say Liv, but I think Luke. I think Tyler is going to kill Luke. They've already kind of set that up last week. And I think he's going to kill Luke to trigger the werewolf curse, and that's going to put a strain on Liv and Tyler. Just when things are going to start going good between them.
Liv Tyler, isn't that an actual person?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's the clue right there of why it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible person.
We're all terrible people.
Yeah.
Shut up.
This show makes us terrible people.
You're the one talking about Hurricane Katrina earlier. You're on a whole different level than us.
Really? So... I don't even know where I was going. What about the early the opening scene between Stefan and his boss?
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
It's only 3 episodes in, and I feel like it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
I expected more blood, because there wasn't any.
He made him his bitch. I think that's good enough for now. Oh, here's a dead body. See, this is my dead girlfriend. Some guy killed her. Go bury her for me.
Yeah, he compelled him to bury his girlfriend and to give him a raise when he came back. So we know he has the intentions of going back. Do you think he's actually going to make it there? Do you think he's going to go back? Heather.
I know why you're doing that. It's not funny. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I don't think he's gonna make it.
No?
No. He's going to get caught up, and, Damon's going to come back, Bonnie's going to come back, and then they're going to let some things loose, and he's going to be like, I got to take care of this shit now.
I think
I can go back.
I think he's going to go back at the beginning of the next episode.
He's gonna get too distracted.
I think he's going back, but I think he's going to get pulled away again. But I think he is going to make it back. I think that's where he left after this episode when he walked away from Caroline. I think he went right back there.
No.
Well, we do know that he winds up at the bar. But I think after he leaves the bar. 'Cause we had that scene between Stefan and Enzo, right? Where they went at each other. And then Enzo ends up killing the guy Jay, who was... he's a member of the town protection unit that Tripp is kind of assembling. And then when Enzo goes to the bar and is sitting there and Tripp tries to kill him off, stabs him with the vervain needle, Enzo was fighting it. He's one of the few that can do it. Because the Augustine and, he's had all this training and stuff like that, like exposure to pain and build up tolerance to everything. He's... little bit like Catherine in that regard, where Catherine was feeding herself vervain so she could become immune to it. So Enzo. Why was I going to call Enzo vervain? So Enzo resists, and he could have killed Trip right then and there on the spot. But Stefan had to go and shoot him. On the right side, not the left, because his heart's on the left. So he got him in the right side of the chest with 2 stakes. Well, the second stake looked like it went right down his spine, but...
Regardless, it looked like it hurt.
Right, so why do you think Stefan didn't just finish him off then and there on the spot when he had the chance?
He wants to play with him.
Because Trip's there. And you kind of saw the exchange that, you know... And that's kind of why I know that Stefan's not going anywhere, because he knows he's kind of got a step up now. He's got... I don't think Trip knows. If Trip knows, Trip's going to play him.
So which is it? Do you think Trip knows, or do you think he's oblivious to the fact?
I don't think
will
Trip
know.
knows. I think he will find out, but I don't think he knows yet.
Right.
So, I mean, the way Stefan came in and he's all like, I found this amongst Stefan. The way that he came in and he's like, I found this with all your shit. I thought it might help. You know, he's trying to play it off. Like, I don't know what's going on. It just looked like you needed my help. You know, I randomly shoot people for the hell of it with giant stakes. It's
Well,
cool.
I mean, as soon as he said, I'm Stefan Salvatore, and Trip's like, oh, you're a founding family. No wonder you know what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You know,
that
he's
was
using his name as kind of a backup, and he's kind of, you know, he's kind of trying to play it off like, it's okay. This is normal for me.
Yeah. I think there's a possibility he might know, because he grew up in Mystic Falls.
yeah.
And we know that Stefan was in Mystic Falls a few times back and forth. And if Trip happened to have seen him during that time, he'd be well aware that Stefan looks exactly like he did so many years ago. We had that guy, I believe it was in the very first episode of the Vampire Diaries. Oh no, it wasn't the very first, was it?
Yeah, I think so. It's like, you look the same as you ever did.
Yeah, it was...
It's kind of a senile old man.
I don't know if it was the first. It was definitely the first season. It was the first few episodes. It was before Elena knew. I'd say it's within the first 5. Yeah, it couldn't have been the first episode, because I know that Elena went and researched at the news studio, right, like for the video evidence, episode. And that's how she found out. And they had the car wash, and yeah, so definitely wasn't
like
the first
third
episode.
Or fourth.
Yeah,
it's like the third or the fourth. I don't remember exactly. I mean, I just watched all this shit. I should know,
right.
But it was like the third or the fourth.
That's a lot of information, though, to come at you.
Yeah,
it's 5 seasons worth.
Oh my god. I thought my head was going to explode.
It's the best.
So I'm eating spaghetti. I'm really sorry. I'm really hungry.
It's okay. So we also had the fact that Omi brought up to my attention that she did some research on the Fell family, and nothing really super notable, but we know Thomas Fell was the very first of the founding. He did the signing of the Founders Party registry. His name was on there and stuff. And it kind of goes through the whole family history till we get to Logan, which I had totally forgotten about Logan. Logan Fell was the news reporter.
It's a terrible last name.
Yeah. Was the ex-girlfriend of Jenna, which was...
Ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Well, I mean... He did kind of look... I'm not going there.
I was convinced Logan was a werewolf at the time. I didn't realize he was a vampire, but I thought he was a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was Meredith Fell.
She was around during the Augustine part of the last season, wasn't she?
I think it was the season before that.
Okay.
Wasn't she the... Yeah, she's the one that moved to Alaska with her husband. They were talking. She was the one that was seeing a lark. She was the doctor.
Mm.
Okay.
And she also plays what's her name on Pretty Little Liars? Melissa?
Okay.
Yeah. So we had her and
I fell asleep.
Blair and Tina and Valerie
Mm-hmm.
fell, which are all living. They're currently in our Mystic Falls high school students.
Yeah, I had no idea there was so many. Are they still high school students? I mean, one was Miss Mystic Falls in 2009.
Yeah, I guess Blair and Tina aren't. Valerie,
Might be still. Shouldn't be
Yeah.
like graduating or
because
something.
what we know is from the timeline right now, because they established this episode when Stefan and Elena were discussing their relationship and how it's only been 2 years now. So that actually places the timeline in 2012. So we're not in 2014 currently.
Okay.
Okay. So we're a couple years behind current time.
Yeah, and then Bonnie and Damon are stuck in, was it 92, 94 or something like
94.
94.
that? Yeah. May 22nd, was that the date? Something like that.
It's an M month.
I think it was May.
Yeah.
I think it was 22nd. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
So we do know that there are living members of the founding family still going around Mystic Falls.
Yep.
And that brings us, like, are these people aware of their customs, like the whole vampire thing? Like, do they know about all this, or are we just in a time now where they think the problem's been solved?
I don't know. Typically, I mean, from what I've noticed, the females don't really get filled in on the traditions.
What about Sheriff Forbes?
She's probably the only living member left of her family.
Yeah.
But like my question is, why the hell did Trip come back now? I mean, is there something wrong with him? Because maybe he wasn't able to live in Mystic Falls because there was something supernaturally wrong with him, but coming into Mystic Falls now with this wall makes it so whatever is wrong with him is nulled. And he can take care of business.
It's
Maybe.
entirely possible. It'd be really interesting. Did they ever mention where he was living? I don't think that ever came up, but it would be really interesting if he is actually shuttling vampires from New Orleans into Mystic Falls to kill them. Then they'd be able to tie the Vampire Diaries and the originals together a little bit there.
Maybe.
I don't know, because he's got to be pulling these vampires from somewhere.
Yeah, because there wasn't that many vampires in Mystic Falls. Or around.
Yeah. Well, there's
That's
no
not right.
vampires in Mystic Falls right now, so he's obviously
Yeah.
finding them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he's it's not like he's going into their homes and just being like, I know vampires live here. Like, he's got to be getting inside information from somewhere, so he's clearly not working alone. There's no way he can maintain this whole town protection unit, train them, and, you know, to the fact where he's able to get somebody like Matt, who knows about vampires and the supernatural world, and convince him that the truck is just covered in red mulch. So, you know, he clearly has enough time to do all this and go stalk vampires. No, he's got to have some inside information somewhere, so he's got to have an outside contact. Which leads us to who the big bad is actually going to be this season. If he's the minor antagonist up until
And now
This
that
is
you mention it, he
revealed.
does seem like he'd be minor.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be the big bad for the entire season. I
No.
think whatever he's working for or whatever he's up to is going to he's going to lead us to the big bad.
I think it'll be revealed for the mid-season finale. That's when I think we're going to get our answers. So episode 11 or 12, whatever their break-off point is. I don't know which one they typically do. I think it changes depending on shows too. But They usually do 12, if I remember correctly. They do it, split it evenly. But that also goes to, is Catherine really gone? Right? We saw her get swept away. She could be running around.
She's gone. I don't think she's gone. Now that we've had the border stalker, which we kind of thought it was Elena, but then going back thinking about it, she only admitted, she would fully admit, be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, it was me, or be stupid, and she beat around the bush with some sort of excuse, but she said, yeah, I do get hungry because of these drugs, but she didn't admit it, and I think she would.
Right.
So I think Catherine is the border stalker.
Interesting.
But she has no control at all.
So you think, because the last we saw was she died. And then she went into the church and she got ripped out of the church from the other side. We don't know where she went. So if that's the case, she very well could have ended up in a place similar to, or maybe even the same place that Bonnie and Damon are in, which means that either A, she's already found her way out and she's back, or B, she's either still lurking in a place like that, or she's in the actual one with Damon and Bonnie.
Or someone pulled her out, or she's, she has the ability, or not that she can control or anything, but to shift in and out when she has to, kind of like protection or sate her hunger or anything like that.
It would be interesting. I would like to see her show up in Damon and Bonnie's world and have her pretend to be Elena and really start screwing with Damon's head.
Oh, God.
I would really like that.
That would be amazing.
And then she convinces Bonnie as well, and she uses that as her escape from that world. I think that would be very clever of her, because that's something Catherine would do. You know that.
It totally is, and the thing is, she can pull it off, because she pretty much knows Elena like the back of her own hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The other major thing that we learned this episode is that compulsion does not work within the borders of Mystic Falls.
Ah!
Something that was so blatantly obvious that we overlooked it.
I know. I was so mad.
You have no idea how mad I was.
When I saw that, I was like, why the fuck didn't we ever think about that?
You know what made it worse? Is that freaking Jeremy picked it out. I was like, no.
How did this idiot figure it out and not us? Come on.
I was so mad.
I mean, I know you've got it in fucking script, but shit.
It was actually something that, for a moment, had crossed my mind for the episode it happened at, but it was something that I dismissed off, didn't really give it much thought, because a lot of things run through my mind when I'm preparing for these podcasts here. And I didn't write it down. I didn't think it was significant. I didn't even think it was a possibility. I just, because I was like, no, she went in there, and I was going to point it out as not that she was pretending kind of thing, because that's not what crossed my mind. I was going to point it out as a continuity error kind of thing. And I didn't think it was worth mentioning. But the fact that they're actually using this as a plot point now makes me realize that I wish I did mention things like that. So from now on, every little continuity error I'm gonna bring up, every single one.
Okay.
Which has nothing to do with the fact that Ace of Base was playing in the grocery.
I love that. Store. I was singing with it.
Did it open up your eyes?
Sure did. I was kind of wishing Damon was kind of hopping, skipping in through the,
and start dancing like he does, like he did in the fucking house that one day when he was dancing around to music.
Well, we did get another classic scene from Damon, and that was him sitting in his car making driving noises at the steering wheel.
I was so happy. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh, this is just beautiful.
That's like when Dean cared about his Impala.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is what we need.
Yes, Dean from Supernatural for clarity.
Baby!
So,
baby! And he's just, and David had the same look on his face. My car! Like sheer happiness. Like this is his child. It's so awesome.
So I'm like extremely confused. I guess not, because I guess this episode kind of answered that to me. But up until this episode, I was under the impression that they were caught in this capture, this still image or whatever, and that what they were doing, it was all resetting again the next day. So like, I was under the impression she continually had to fill this crossword puzzle out every day. So now this episode kind of explained that no, she worked on the crossword puzzle, and there it is. The crossword puzzle has always been this way. So the answer is, remember we were like, why would she continually do that? That doesn't even make sense. I'd give up on that forever. So this answer is no. It stayed that way. Because the thing that triggered it, that I thought why it was running that way, is when Damon mentioned that this was some bourbon or something that he was drinking, that he saved and he drank later on. Then I was like, he's got to be creating like a paradox. So it's got to be, you know, if this time that they're in, this still thing is affecting, you know, outside, it's got to keep resetting itself when the day starts. So, and then he always had the alcohol. They always were eating pancakes. So I was just under the impression that were only pancakes in the house, and that was the only thing that they could make.
There are always pork rinds here.
Yeah, and things like that. So you see they went shopping. So they go shopping for their groceries. They get new alcohol, new pancakes, you know, every time. They have a grocery list. They're stocking up. So I don't know why they're continually eating pancakes for 4 months straight, but that's beyond me. That's why I thought
Pancakes.
It's obvious that Bonnie is too worried about getting her magic back, so she's not cooking, so Damon has to do all the cooking. And all he knows how to
Damon
make is
can't cook.
pancakes. Yep.
And as she said, those weren't even very good until recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw the first time that he made them. He burned them. He was flipping them when they were falling back on the stove off the tray.
Oh,
on,
I'd still
what
eat
was
those
it?
pancakes.
Yeah, last episode we all made pancakes. That was the first time I've ever made my own pancakes. I'm not gonna lie. Very first time I ever made pancakes. And I didn't throw any out. Those 3 that were on my plate were my first 3. I brought them here. You guys saw them.
3 that were on your plate.
Yeah. Well,
Leave pancakes alone.
one was massive, but I didn't drop any. I didn't burn them. You know, like one was a little undercooked, but that's better than burning it, right?
It was still a little mushy.
Sure. As long as there's no eggs in it.
So, which brings up tiny little point. Episode 1, right? We saw them eating pancakes at the end. Episode 2, we got to see their debut there, making pancakes for the first time. Episode 3, no physical pancakes, but they reference pancakes. Are we going to get more pancake references through the end of this season? Or at least until
really
they get
happy.
out. Are we going to hear about pancakes until then?
I would be really happy.
I think Damon's gonna go crazy and make a pancake shop when he gets out.
Oh. Ooh, drawing a little vampire
He's gonna get out of
smiles.
here and he's gonna take Elena a plate of pancakes. Like, hi, I'm home.
Look what I can do.
Look what I learned how to do! Pancakes! I
Yes.
just happen to have a bowl.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for this week's episode that I may have missed?
Nope.
Not really. It's like I was talking to Mike, and my only comment at the end of the episode was, "I'm gonna take that gun and I'm gonna shove it up Stefan's ass and then fire it off."
Stefan is kind of turning into the Damon of this
No, Damon at least had tact.
season 1 Damon.
No, not even that. Damon had tact. He did it in a style that was, admirable. Stefan's just a dick.
Do you not remember the first 3 episodes of the Vampire
Oh no,
Diaries?
I totally do. I was drooling all over those episodes. No, thank you.
At least she admits it.
At least the very first episode there was no tact.
He was playing with a freaking crow. That's a lot of tact.
Where is that crow? I want to see him control the crows again.
I don't know. Call him up. Give him a good ring. Maybe
Yeah,
tell
I have
him.
to.
Ask him to bring the lacrosse stick.
This next episode is called Black Hole Sun, another 90s song title. In it, flashbacks to a tumultuous. What even is that word?
Tumultuous?
Tumultuous?
There's
no whatever. I've never even heard of this word in my life.
I have no idea. You know
never
what?
heard of this word. I'm dictionarying it right now.
I'm bad at English.
Making a loud, confused noise. Uproarious.
Tumultuous.
Excited, confused, or disorderly. Okay, so.
Tumultuous.
Flashbacks to a confusing time in Damon's life. All right, there we go. See,
yeah,
we're totally reading the synopsis for the very first time live. We're getting our real reactions from you because that's something I would have looked up before. So you guys know, live reactions. Flashbacks to a
paying attention.
confusing time in Damon's life. When Damon and Bonnie realize that uncovering a time in Damon's past may provide clues to finding their way home, Damon is forced to relive one of the worst days of his life. So it looks like Bonnie's going to be using some witchy magic on Damon. So he's going to have to mentally go somewhere.
I think Bonnie's going to see this soft, sensitive, vulnerable side to Damon, and she's going to start liking him more than just not liking him. If that makes sense.
I don't know. After an awkward run-in with Joe at the hospital, Alaric steps in to help Jeremy get his life together and cope with the loss of Bonnie. It's already been an episode without Joe, and I completely forgot about her. She was the one that was flirting with Alaric at the party.
Her.
Tried to drink his flask of blood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, totally forgot about her. Forgot she was even a thing. Elsewhere, Stefan seems to show Elena what it's like to start over and create a new identity, while an unsuspecting Matt finds himself in a disturbing situation when Tripp lets him in on a dark secret. Oh yes, this dark secret. We don't already know that he's going to tell him about vampires. He's probably going to bring Enzo to Matt, and Matt's going to let him free. Mm-hmm. That's my guess. Matt's going to save Enzo. See, Matt is continually coming up with purposes in this season. I love it already. They're utilizing him.
I like it too. I wanted to see him have a bigger part. Either that or get out.
It's been 5 seasons coming now. So, lastly, Stefan, who is desperate to regain some normalcy in his life, is stunned when an unexpected visitor shows up, a.k.a. Enzo. That's my guess. If Matt lets Enzo free, Enzo is going to be the unsuspecting visitor that breaks up the normalcy in Stefan's life. He already vowed that that's what he was going to do. You going to fight with me on this? So then one of us could be right next episode?
Unexpected.
Right. It's unexpected because Enzo is currently captured.
No, see, I would always keep the thought because, Stefan wasn't there.
Stefan's the one that handed Enzo over to
exactly,
to
but he was still alive. He didn't see
Enzo.
He didn't see Enzo die. He didn't witness Enzo's death. So in the back of my mind, I'm not Stefan, but in the back of my mind, me personally, I'd be like, nah, I should have been there. I should have supervised this or something. Just to be sure.
You gotta think like a cold, heartless vampire. Stefan is well under the impression that Enzo is dead. He handed him over to a vampire hunter.
And that's why Stefan is stupid.
He was almost shot through the heart, and Stefan was to blame.
No, he's stupid. He's so stupid he sparkles.
Whoa.
Wow, we went there.
Whoa. All right, that's it. I'm done. I've had it.
You still have one more show with us, too.
I've had it. I'm done. Omi, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Heather, where can the people find you?
Twitter, OLARIS_RHEA.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week, we'll see you guys later. For those of you that watch the originals, stick around. Coming up on our channel next is the Originals podcast. We're super late.
We are. Now, can you two go back to bickering? It's funny. No, like, honestly.
It's not bickering because I'm right.
You're not right.
No.
No.
I'm right, and she
on
knows
this
I'm
one.
right, and she can't
I'm with
handle
her
it,
on
so she's
this
got to
one.
try to fight with me.
You're screwed. I'm with her on
No,
this one. No. Like,
Oh,
the best part of doing
No.
podcasts with the two of you is seriously the bickering that you two get into sometimes, because it's so, she gets
There's no
passionate.
bickering. There's no
Shut
bickering.
up!
It's Enzo, and that's it. It's Enzo. You're gonna see next week. It's Enzo.
See, she gets so passionate over the way she feels, and you're just like, fuck you, I'm right.
Yeah, because I am right, and you will see.
No, you're not.
You will see next week.
No.
It's done. We're done.
No.
Done.